What's going on, guys? Welcome to our Breaking Bad RV project. So if you guys are just stopping by for the first time, this behind us is a 2005 Gulfstream Endura. It has a Duramax diesel engine with an Allison transmission. We bought it so that we could tow our race vehicles and show vehicles to the track since it's got a diesel stout powertrain. We picked it up for $12,500, which you guys might be saying, how the heck did you get it for that cheap? We got it that cheap because it had a lot of problems when we picked it up, but we picked it up in Omaha, Nebraska, drove it all the way to here in Tampa, Florida. It made it no issues, but we've been going through the issues trying to get this thing back into shape. So somebody bought this. It only has, well, when we picked it up, it only had 18,000 miles. Now it has 19,000 miles, just under 20 after driving it across the whole country. But somebody bought this and made a whole bunch of modifications to an otherwise almost new RV. So they drilled a bunch of holes through it. They had screws coming right through the interior to the exterior, drilled holes, had plumbing, electrical, all sorts of just nonsense going on. And now it looks like, if you guys are seeing these wasps fly around, they're trying to make a home in the heater. So we'll have to do something about that here pretty shortly too. But yeah, we've just been repairing this. And in the last episode, I made a stupid mistake of when we had the couch removed. I tried operating the slide, didn't realize it, but it ended up popping out the guide. And I was super pissed off at myself for doing it. So here's the couch, and if you guys haven't seen the videos before, go check that out. This whole interior is night and day difference. Even though right now it kind of looks like it might be in shambles because everything's all over the place, this thing was way worse than you see it right now. So I had the couch out, operated the slide. There's a plastic piece that runs the entire length of the slide, and it's riveted to the chassis. Kind of helps, and it allows for the slide to effectively slide, go figure, out of here. And we popped it off, and I thought, and I don't know, hoping this is gonna work, but I was like, oh no, don't tell me I gotta take the whole slide physically out to fasten that piece of plastic. And then I took the carpet flap, flipped it up, and I looked, and here is where the rivets are. So I don't know if you guys can see that right there. These aluminum head rivets popped off, and it spit out that plastic guide, but the whole slides on. So I don't think there's any other way. The only way I could think of is to potentially lift, but it looks like should be able to get to this. So just barely, I think I might be able to manipulate this enough just to get these rivets in place. So that is my new plan, is to get that in there. And how I'm going to do that is, first things first, I can't flip the carpet up right here as much as I can back here because of this. So these are held in by a series of Phillips screws, and you'll see that part of that plastic guide, which is supposed to hang out right here, it didn't sever the rivets on this side, so this is still here. So I got to either try to drill that out and just pull it completely out and bring it back inside, or potentially sweep the whole thing in. So I haven't decided what I can do there just yet, but either way, I'm gonna take out all the Phillips screws that are holding these two benches in. Ooh, it's getting rowdy outside. And I gotta take those out anyways. That way we can do the wallpaper and stuff all in behind this booth as well. So let me get that out. We'll move on and see what we hit next. Okay, that was pretty easy. There was a telephone jack right there that I just had to unwire. It's a low voltage stuff, but I don't even know if anybody uses like telephone jacks. Like if you went to an RV park and you wanted to have a telephone, but I mean, this thing was built in 05, so I guess it was kind of just a different thought process back then. So I think I'm gonna try to slide it over here because that'll be hopefully out of my way. Gotta do the same thing with that one as well. Okay, you guys, that took way longer than it should have, but I got the two benches out. A couple of the screws that were in there were stripped out, installed strips, so I couldn't get them out and had to drill them out. It was a nightmare. Carpet's super dirty, we'll worry about that after. So we popped off every single rivet except these last two. So I'm going to drill these two out just so I can actually slide this thing out, because I think I'm going to bring it in here and slide it into position, kind of how you see it here, and then we'll go from there. So let me drill those two out, and then I don't know if I'm going to pull it out and then bring it back in or try to slide it in here. We'll figure that out, but get those two out first. Alright, there's one. There it is. Okay, so now we should be able to get this out. I'm gonna clean out all the shavings and whatnot, but let's at least get this piece of plastic one way or the other. Alright. Well, apparently it's gonna come out this way, which is fine. As long as I can grab it and bring it back in. Okay. So now I have to drill out all the broken rivets and then re-rivet this back into place, as you now know. So let me get to work. So pretty much just got to drill out the back part of the aluminum rivet, just clearing out the hole. The other thing you can do too is I've sometimes taken a punch and punched them out the back. So far they've been cooperating pretty good. But if this one fights me too much longer, I might try that next approach. Here's the center punch I was telling you about. Sometimes this works like that. Rather than trying to drill, you just knock it out the back. There's that. That's just right out to the ground. Well, I can see the ground, so I almost am getting some other ideas as far as fastening this. So, some of the, like, it's gonna be almost a weird angle to get the rivet gun in here. I might almost be able to rivet from the bottom, but I haven't decided if I'm gonna resort to that yet. I guess the other thing I could do too is manually adjust out the slide just a little further. If I had another 1/4 of an inch or so, it would probably help out quite a bit. Is that one there? Can't tell. Yep. That one's through. And then we should have a couple in the corner here, same as the other side. So one. Alright, so all of our holes are clear. Now I'm gonna vacuum this out and let's see what we got. So I'll show you guys the progress here once we kind of get a little closer. Okay, so I got it all shot backed out. It's a disaster in here right now. And look, you can literally see where this bolt grabbed right here and took it for a ride. That's where it bit onto it. Well, definitely not gonna do that again. So anyways, we can tuck this back in here, and then the fun part is trying to get my rivet gun in there, so I'll let you guys know how that works out. For some reason it looks like there's more room on that side. I might try to manually adjust the slide out, like I was saying, just kind of hyperextend it a little bit, because this seal, I could probably push it out like 1 inch manually. Right now it's hydraulically fully extended, but I think I could manually adjust the ram and push it out, so it'll give me enough room to get the rivet gun in there. Again, more work, but it is what it is. Alright, so I went and tried to push it out as much as possible. For whatever reason, this side seems like, I mean, the room looks fine, but it looks like this side I have more clearance on. So anyways, I'm going to start getting some of these in at least. So here's the aluminum rivets, the same ones that we broke. So I got my rivet gun. It's just a cheap manual one. So I'm going to go ahead and start popping these rivets in, and then we'll assess how we're going to do those ones over there, because it's a little less room, but maybe I can persuade it somehow. We'll figure it out once we get to the harder side. Alright, you guys, I'm happy. I managed to get it done and in. So it is in. That thing was really stressing me out. I just finished shop backing, and apparently I turned it into a cloud in here, so I don't know how long I'm gonna hang out in here today for. But yeah, got it all in there, managed to get the rivets in. This side was a little bit tighter for whatever reason, but just maybe by a quarter an inch or so, but managed to get that thing all back in. So now I most definitely will not make that mistake ever again. Kind of interesting to see the stain right here. That is actually the bottom of this foot, but it's the back one. So when this thing was fully retracted, that was there and left a stain mark from the rust on the carpet. Kind of interesting. I don't know what would be the remedy of that. I guess you could probably put vinyl or something over top of it, or maybe while the lag bolts are hanging out there willy-nilly, you could probably take them out, sand them, and paint them, which might not be a bad idea, because if I put new flooring in here and then get a rust circle on it, that would not be fun. So this thing is in absolute shambles right now. I'm gonna at least just throw the booths back in here just so I can walk through here, and probably throw that chair over there. I might just kind of put everything where it's supposed to be. One of the things, I don't know if I mentioned, but when me and my buddy Nate were putting up the wallpaper, or mostly him I should say, but I was kind of helping and working on other stuff, it started like bubbling. I don't know if you can see that. So that one stuck perfectly fine, that one stuck perfectly fine, this one pretty much okay, but for whatever reason this wallpaper here, it's like there's no adhesive on the other side of it. So it's almost like there's, in certain spots, the adhesive, there's just not much, if any, adhesive behind. This part of the wall is super loose, by the way. I mean, it's just the way it's pretty crazy. I almost want to put a screw in there just to fasten it a little bit, but anyways. But yeah, there's like not any glue in certain spots, so it's kind of like bubbling up in there, and you can push it back down. There's literally no tack, no stick. So I guess that comes with the territory. But what I'm trying to debate right now is I have like 4 of these rolls, and I want to obviously keep going, but I'm a little bit nervous that it's all gonna, like, with the heat that this thing will see in here, some days when we're not using it, I don't want to come in here and all the wallpaper's hanging off the walls, because it's a lot of work, so I don't want to do it twice. So I'm trying to figure out that. I might actually use like wallpaper glue, but comment down below what you guys think of that. By the time this episode comes out, I probably will have made up my mind, but always curious to see what you guys would do in these instances. So also flooring, I do want to redo flooring, but I don't know if I'm gonna have time just yet, of course. So we only got like 1 month to get ready, so I really don't know that we'll have time to get that ready. So might have to just keep the current flooring at the moment. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me get a little organized here and then we'll keep going. All right, so it is the next day, and I just tidied up a little bit. I had everything back in here, and then I slid it back out, because my goal for right now is I want to get all this wallpapered so I can put these things back in, and hopefully not have to take them out for a little bit. Ultimately, we're gonna end up changing the floor and the carpet because it's all dirty and whatever, but at least if I can get the walls all done, finished, and then we can work on other stuff later. But I do at least want to get all the walls looking decent. So this one still, I keep saying it a million times, but I ordered a new fridge yesterday, so once the new fridge comes in and that one has to come out, we're gonna have to probably, I think me and my buddy Nate measured, and it should go out that window, so we should be able to hoist that out of the window just by opening the window. So that's my goal, at least. Put the new one in, and then while I have the fridge out, I can patch this hole. I don't know if I need to take the microwave off. Might not be a bad idea to get this patched a little bit better. And then yeah, so right now what I'm doing is I just patched up some of the holes that I found. I'm gonna take off the Joker curtains right now. I've just been piling them over there, but at least that way I can get the wallpaper on better as well. Oh look, we had to get the rap god back. Look at him doing the rappy things. We picked up this what should we call it? Should Should we just call it what it is?
The goo. The goo.
The clue goo.
Not the glue goo.
Put clue goo on it just to get that to stick better because we don't want it to all peel up. And look, I got the rap god juice. This is rap juice right here. Here, take this rap juice. Make them rap faster. He be spitting bars after drinking that. Okay, so I filled all the holes. I degreased it all. He's putting the clue goo on there and then putting the wallpaper on. So that wallpaper is actually supposed to be self-adhesive. Like it's got its own glue on it, but we're just doubling up on it because there's a few spots over here. It's almost like it has nothing to do with his application, but just there's some spots where the glue's not consistent on it and it just doesn't stick. So, and then I just been smoothing this out, getting that all situated, and then I popped out this mystery panel up here. There's 2 screws that held on this big piece of wood here, and there is 2 bolts that go down and hold this microwave. So, and then there's these 2 right here, 1, 2, and I'm gonna get the microwave out so I can do this patch, and that way when he gets over here wrapping this, if he ever finishes that wall or that roof. I gave him the pimp juice, so that way I'll be ready for him when he's ready to finally do this. So let me loosen these bolts. You can probably see right here there's a little screw there and a little screw right there. I'm gonna take those out and hopefully this thing comes out. Okay, so you guys saw, took the microwave out, manhandled that fool, and then I ended up patching this, so just waiting for that to dry up. That was that massive hole there. Should have taken the microwave out sooner because it would have made getting underneath here and getting all this sorted out a lot easier, but anyways, that's pretty much it. Got some of this stuff, just doing little tiny patch ups. I took off the striker, or like the plate that this pocket door slides on or hooks on, because there was some sort of modification going on in there, and it was just, if we're gonna wrap this wall here, I don't want any excess. So there's the 2 screw holes, but I'm gonna kind of fill this and then I'll kind of Dremel it out as necessary because something's missing here, like the little latch for the pocket door is missing too, so I have to do that. And then I think what I'm gonna do is start, all this stuff is pretty much filled back here. I'm trying to decide whether I want to like do all the touch-ups to this so that this can all get done. I might get this to a similar standpoint, I think is the next. So in here, hit the switches, all the holes that are in here. I'm thinking of starting to come in here and just start filling a lot of these. So I think that's kind of the move next, so keep you guys posted. I'm gonna keep just filling holes, sanding things, and trying to get this as close as possible while Nathan gets that up. He's like 6 hours later, he's only got like 3 feet of wall done. So
And you removed a microwave, come on.
What do you mean? Look what I did.
You moved a microwave.
Patched a hole, redid those holes, sanded that, removed the microwave, removed the little secret panel.
Okay, just be
I fixed this hole.
It makes it harder.
I filled that hole. I took off the thermostat. What else did I do? Freeze my titties off. I don't know if anybody answered, but comment down below if you know what the hell this is. I still don't know what this is. Some sort of maybe switch went here at some point, but I don't know what was there because that's what I was left with. I'm kind of tempted to like connect those 2 wires because I think it's a switch, but I don't want to blow anything up. But if you guys know what that is, comment below. All right, we are filling and covering the nastiest part of the wall inside. It looks so much better. Crinkle cut. Get her done.
Can't see the rest. I fall asleep. I can't stand you.
Knight's Auto Crinkle.
Knight's Auto Crinkle.
All right, you guys, kind of a huge progress update, I can say. So, took Nathan forever, but he finally finished this part here. Still some small, like, I don't know if you guys can see that. See this little like finger here? And then you run it down and it disappears. So I don't know if I just have to come to accept that this stuff's gonna kind of bubble here and there, or if it might potentially lay down. The glue that I bought apparently takes like something stupid like 6 weeks to like fully cure. So I don't know if this thing's gonna look terrible in a few weeks or if it's gonna continue to look good. I mean, I bought the materials. Only thing I can really do is either live with it. It looks 1,000 times better, as you guys can see, but either live with it or bail on that wallpaper. I got it at a pretty decent price, but it was on Amazon, so it's kind of comes with the territory. I will say it looks better, so I guess we can just rock with it. But check this out. This was the worst spot on the whole RV, or one of, I should say. The other one is probably the bathroom, but the bathroom's getting covered completely with different material. But you guys remember here, there was 5 million holes and whatever, and it's all fixed, patched up, and like, look at how good that looks. This patch is now solid, so I'm gonna put a sheet here, and then I obviously took out the microwave, and then there was these drill marks on the side of the microwave. So the microwave works. I haven't cooked anything in it, but it turns on, so I would assume that it works. But this part here, the microwave sticks out a little bit, so this, all these screw marks, you see them because the microwave sticks out to here, so you see that all from this side. This side of the microwave is covered by the wall. The front of the microwave looks perfectly fine. I took off some of the trim. What I'm gonna do now is I just lightly sanded this. I could go crazy with trying to fill this all and blah blah blah, but I don't think I'm gonna go that far. But what I do want to do is just mask off here, and I think what I'm gonna do is just dust it in black, just so it's all uniform. We don't see all these, you know, marks that were made in it. So that's what I'm doing right there. And then what I want to do is put a sheet right here, finish this off at least, so that I can put the microwave back in. It would make sense to, you know, obviously paint all these cabinets and cupboards and whatever. I don't know if we're gonna get to it. I might try one little experiment here. I've got this wood filler, and then I also found in here, I don't know if you guys have ever played with this stuff, but this came in the RV, so scratch cover for dark woods. I'm almost wondering if, like, how dark of wood this is. Like I said, it might be a match since it was hanging about in the RV, but I'm wondering if I fill the hole with wood filler and then use some of this, how bad it'll be. Just for fun, I might try one just to see what the result is, see if I can get this looking half decent temporarily. Ultimately, I want to repaint all of this kind of caramel colored looking wood here, but I don't know that we'll have time to just yet, so it's kind of being put on the back burner. So anyways, I'm gonna bring this outside, tape it up. I'm gonna paint this marks. It's kind of it's got little like dents in it and stuff where these screws ran up against it, but like I said, as long as it's better than just exposed metal, I think it'll be fine. Don't mind my tall ass grass, I gotta cut it, but let's go ahead and give this a little dusting. All right, there's the first coat. It's got some glare on it, but it's just gonna be like a semi-gloss, so hopefully a similar finish, but it doesn't even have to match any other sides. So we'll let that tack up. We'll give it one more coat. Like I said, you're still gonna see the nick marks, but at least it'll all be one color, so it won't be too bad. You can always upgrade and replace the microwave later if we really want to. All right, so I filled most of the little holes on here, so we're gonna see how that kind of turns out. Still some more over here. I guess I could technically do these as well since I have everything out, might as well. And then I also want to fill the holes on this countertop because I'm gonna try to wrap it. So some of the major holes like this, I'm gonna use more of this, and this is what I'm using if you're curious. Can't turn it upside down because the label's upside down, but plastic wood. So professional wood filler is what I'm using. So it actually is the color of wood, I guess you could say. But yeah, that's that there. So we'll let that dry. I got a few more holes over here. I might as well kind of dap up since we're here, and I'll show you guys the progress. All right, so filled all the holes, just waiting for it all to dry and whatnot before I start sanding. It almost looks like it's got acne now. All right, so while that dries, and then I can hopefully start laying some paste, do this wallpaper, that wallpaper, and potentially even this wallpaper. I'm just messing with the bathroom a little bit, trying to get things a little more sorted out. So all the holes and whatnot on the parts that I'm gonna wallpaper are all finished off. I slid that into place, and since this one is going to be a lower tub, I have to cut that big piece of wood that originally supported the front, the face, so if somebody steps on here it doesn't just snap because it's not really supported. So I'm gonna actually make it out of a little bit thicker wood. They just use really cheap wood there, but I'm gonna get some actual nice board so it'll give it more support. Since I have to adjust it and cut it up anyways, might as well just make it out of new. It's only gonna be like 10 bucks from Home Depot probably. So I'll get the wood to pick up that. Any of these holes in the exterior wall, obviously we're gonna patch them from the outside, but here we're almost, I don't know, maybe I might just fill them quickly, but I'm kind of thinking it's almost like a waste because I'm literally gonna be putting sheets. This one actually, the back one doesn't have almost any holes in it. I am gonna be taking off that strapping that you see across there. I'm gonna be cutting this because they're going to take all this carpet crap out of here, out of the bathroom. I don't want carpet in the ceiling of a bathroom. It sounds like a bad idea. And then right now what I want to do is, the floor is already peeling up, so, and I keep tripping over it, so I'm going to just cut it out of here because I'm going to be redoing the floor as well. So I'll at least cut it to the bathroom here. That way I can not trip over it and just get it out of there because it's dirty anyways. Alright, so I cut this out, and I cut it out in one piece because I might actually attempt to use it as somewhat of a template for what I'm going to put in here. Alright guys, well, I got a little carried away with my demo in the bathroom, and I decided just to rip it all out because I don't know why I didn't think about it sooner, and I'll turn this around in a second, but this I ripped this all out, so it's just an absolute disaster right now, so I got to do a little bit of cleanup here. But this cabinet deal here that was on the wall, originally there would, of course, I would think, be a mirror here and then some sort of door here for these shelves, but the guy had cut out, or guy or girl, whatever it was that used to own this, cut this out and hacked it and drilled holes and the whole bit. So I was just like, why not just take this off and just put a simple medicine cabinet? It would save me having to try to recreate this whole thing, and I think it would look cleaner. The other thing too is this thing was like fairly substantial. Like it was, whatever that might be, you know, 4 or 5 inches deep, but it really made the room feel small. When you're dealing with a room that's not even that big, it made it feel small. Plus, as you guys know, these two roof vents, they were, you know, this was missing when we first got it, and this was off when we first got it, so some water did get in here. So I was trying to just remove everything that looked like it was a little bit damaged, and now I've got it to where I'm happy with the wood that's in here. So I ripped off all the carpet stuff. There's a little bit of this wood here, and it's not really that thick, but I took off any of the stuff that looked compromised, like it was more over in that area. And like I said, I am going to be putting a new ceiling up on here, but any of the wood that was fine, I left it. And then that whole unit here, I don't know if on camera it looks bigger, but before, this was coming out to like here, and it really made it feel small. So what I'm going to do instead is just to make my life easier, and it's actually going to feel a little bit bigger because you're not going to have this big box encroaching on you so much coming off the wall. So going to have, like, you have a little bit of storage down here, again missing that door also, but as far as, like, you know, storage in the bathroom here. But I'm gonna put like a little medicine cabinet. You get them for, like, I looked before I decided to rip this off, it was like, you know, 50 to 100 bucks. I can get myself something really nice off of Amazon and just literally screw it to the wall. So what I can do is fill all these holes. These were all the holes from, I guess, two things. One, like this one, I already kind of filled it, but that was from you know, the wires that were originally going in and out of here. All these tiny little holes, I might just quickly fill them. I'm not gonna be too fancy about it because all this is gonna get new walls going on top of this for the shower, so the waterproof stuff. That's gonna come to about here, and then all here I'm just gonna redo the wallpaper. I do want to try and see this light. I think we'll leave there, but this light, I want to see if I can potentially move it to here. So I gotta see if I can get the wires ran to there. I think it would make it a little bit more symmetrical. Another thing I wanted to try to do, I don't know if that's gonna be possible, but some of the mirrors that I've been looking at, they're pretty cool, and they have like a light in the mirror, but I'd have to get 120 to the mirror somehow. So I'm trying to see if I should somehow get some provisioning in there before that. So what I'm gonna do is the material that I'm gonna put on the ceiling, I'm also gonna put it here on this like 45, this steel piece here. That's like the structure of the RV. So I'm gonna put same thing there, another strip right there. I'm gonna silicone it on there, and then the shower walls, as I think I mentioned to you guys in other videos, the original shower walls only went to here, and by the time you step up on the platform that's normally here, your head is above that, so you were getting, or whoever used to own this, essentially would be getting water on this board, and then it would run into the shower walls, which in my opinion makes no sense. So I'm going to take our waterproof shower walls right to the top, so right to here, another piece going to be here, and right to there, and then silicone everything. That way you could freaking have a water park in here, and it's all gonna be waterproof and just drain down. So that's my way of doing it. The way that they did it originally, I think, was a stupid design, but we're gonna improve on that. So what we're gonna do right now is get all this junk out of here, and then I'm gonna start filling all of these holes so we can get ready for some wallpaper. I still gotta make that wood box that I was telling you about in there. I'm gonna get some stuff too, just spray all over the place just in case, just get some like anti-mold stuff just to be safe, to spray for like anti-mold and stuff just in case. And yeah, let's just keep going here. So let me clean up a little bit because this is getting crazy in here. All right, now for the fun part. Let's see if we can break that. How about I can throw it in this garbage can. Well, let's try. We're going to chuck it right out here and see what happens. Thing pretty sturdy. I was hoping it would just explode. Getting there. All right. Alright, we got it. Check it out, you guys. So Nate got all this part done right there, all the way to the floor. I gotta put that trim piece back in there, but I actually picked up some paint to paint that stuff and freshen it up. I got some white plastic paint right here, and I already painted that trim piece there, and then he also did right there. So check that out, you guys. It looks so much better in here now. So I can put my microwave back in there. The paint's pretty much dry, but I'm gonna wait to see if I want to mess with this first and paint that stuff before I throw the microwave back up in there. But that's ready to go. I mentioned the fridge. He also did this part here, so we got this done. I'm trying to, it's kind of a weird deal here. Like when you put that wallpaper glue down, it's like initially very non-sticky. I don't know what other way to describe it, and then you kind of have to give it a little bit, and you can't really leave. Like you gotta like keep on top of it, if that makes sense. So I kind of wanted to do some of this stuff last night, but the problem is you kind of have to let it tack up and then come back. Like for example, see this big bubble here? This needs to be run out. If you were to just like leave it, then the next day once everything dries, you're left with that. Well, like look, see that big bubble there? So now that bubble will be out, but if you leave it, kind of like our boy Nate left us because he gone, then you'll end up having a big bubble stuck there the next day. So it's a bit of a tedious process here. And then here's where the access panel is going to go. Not too sure what we're going to do here. It looks a little wonky. I don't know if a heat gun will fix this up. It's kind of, might have to put a little patch piece on top of that because we had to cut it to get these switches through. But overall, way better. You guys remember that big hole that was there? Like you can't even see it now. So that's all fixed up. And then what I was doing while he was messing with that was I framed this out. So I got a new frame support for the edge of our tub, or I guess shower tray, whatever. And then this piece of wood here, I ended up giving it additional support. So I lengthened it off the back, and then where they had this cut out for the drain was way too large. So I ended up filling it in, wood glued it, and gave it supporting pieces underneath. Because what was happening was I test fitted it in there, and there were certain spots where you would step and you would feel like, you can see the indentation right here. So check that out. when you would step here, it was really stressing on this, because this thing is just like paper thin, like you can hear it. So when you would step around the drain, you could like feel this thing being stressed like crazy. So it would only take like one big person to be in that shower and step in the wrong spot, and their foot would probably go right through it. So I reinforced it, widened it so that it's got full support underneath it. And also you'll notice that wire down there. So what I did was, look at the size of the hole that friggin' when they made this, that was the hole that they blasted through there for the light that was originally there. I didn't like where the light was. I just thought it was in a very odd spot. Like you can see here where they had the shower, like don't mind these other holes, this is all the holes from the light, but this is where they had like that shower handle sitting right in front of the light. So I wanted to move it over here because I have a badass shower unit that we're going to try and make work here. So it's called a shower tower, and it's going to go all the way up. I'm going to butt it right up against the ceiling. It's going to protrude a tiny bit into the skylight here, but it's going to come right, it's going to be right on the very ceiling is where it's going to be showering down. So that way we don't have to mess with trying to mount a wand or whatever. It also has a wand too, but we got a sneak peek of it. So this is what it looks like, and then it has a piece that comes off here to there, and it's going to have like a shower. It also has like body jets, still has the wand as well. And you got all your selections, so you can switch from jets to shower to waterfall, and it was like 150 bucks, and it matches our faucet on our sink. So this friggin' bathroom is gonna look badass. So before I get that in there, I gotta tighten our drain, make sure that's good, and then I should be able to put this shower down. Yeah, so I did relocate the light to over there so it's in the middle, and hopefully, like, they had a shower in here. There's specifically a switch for the shower. I have it turned off right now because it was blinding me, but that's that. I'm trying to decide what I want to do here. This little carpet box thing, it's kind of like a filler piece. I'm not sure if I should just leave it for now or potentially try to do something. It's probably easiest just to leave it there, but it kind of looks out of place. I don't know. I might try to detach it and then just shove it in there temporarily. That way I can access it, because right now it's attached to the wall, so if I don't free it from there, then it might be stuck. So that's pretty much it. And then I recreated the same little access panel here so we can get to the drain. That's pretty much, or the trap, whatever. That's kind of just the way they had it before, but mine's a lot stronger. Theirs was just that thin little wood. Other than that, I just gotta mount this in the final location, so I'm gonna test fit that a few times, make sure my support feels nice, and then we'll be able to put that in and leave it in, I hope. Alright, so I got this in here, just test fitted it, and I like the support now. No matter where you stand, it's got support. Obviously it can't be right underneath the drain, but it was like super soft right around there. So that's all in, just test fitted it. And then I also double checked that our drain connects, so everything is all good there. So I'm gonna pop this back out, fire the screws in for the base so that the base doesn't move around, because I'm good with that where that's at. And I think I'm gonna, like I said, detach this so that this is just a slide in piece for now. That way I can pull it out. I might, you know, refinish it, reupholster it, re-something it, but I don't want it to be stuck on the wall. So pull that out and we can get to that piece there. One thing I do want to do though is I'm noticing, so the pipe goes back to there, to that T, but there's a lot of stress on this and it's leaning down and it's falling down here. So with water it's only going to get heavier, but like, I don't know if you guys can see that. So see how it's like not square? If I lift up the pipe, then it maintains its fall and there's not so much stress on my spout on my tub or shower tray. So I'm gonna have to put up a little shim in that back corner to hold that up, because there wasn't one and there isn't one, but it's putting a lot of stress on the drain and it's also messing with the fall on the pipe. Alright, so hopefully you guys can see this here, but I got that little block of wood in there. I don't know if you guys will or will not be able to see that, but now we've got the correct fall there and the correct fall here. And it was weird. I don't know why they would have never figured that out or thought to do anything, because it's got all these wires and stuff like tie wrapped to it, so it was just weighing it down even further. Once you get water in there, it would be even worse. So this RV is going to be better than ever, better than new, literally. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead, I'll unscrew this and then get this up and get things rigged in finally. All right, so don't mind the mess, but we're actually in my house, and I cut these late last night just because I wanted them to be ready. So here's the 2 shower walls, and then the back wall is actually in the RV right now, and already cut that one. That one fits. Might have to do a little bit of adjustments, but the overall size is the same. So I ended up cutting them with that multi-tool over there. I have been using the heck out of that thing. Really like that tool. So it made for a really clean cut. I tried it, like, this is the board here. So it's waterproof board. It's actually like a flooring material, but I'm gonna put it on the walls, as you guys can obviously tell. But yeah, I tried cutting it with a sharp blade, was not doing the trick, but ended up using the multi-tool and got a really nice clean cut. So here is all sorts of stuff. Here's the remnants of those 2 sheets from all the cuts I had to do. And then what my plan was this extra sheet that got damaged in shipping. Well, they all got damaged in shipping, but I was going to cut a section out of this for the floor and then cut a section out of this for the ceiling. Also, that little box that we made, I got to cut a piece or chunk out of it for the little access plate on the front of the tub. So we're going to use a chunk for that. I don't know if this would be big enough for the floor. If this is big enough for the floor, I might potentially put that on the floor and just use this for a ceiling. So we'll have to take those measurements, but let's go out there, try those 2 wall pieces and see where we're at. And I'm going to come back in and cut this for the ceiling, whatever that size is. And we'll decide if we have enough for the floor on that. If not, this is going to be the floor in the bathroom also. All right, so check it out. This is gonna look really good, you guys. So I laid the back piece, I cut that all out. I had to cut that corner section there for the frame rail of the RV. So that fits in pretty decently. Like I said, maybe make some small adjustments, but I think overall it actually fits really well. Also, what I'm gonna do is end up siliconing probably the back of it. I got 2 things. I got PL Premium. So I'm not sure if I want to use PL Premium to adhere this to the wall, or if I want to use silicone just in case I ever want to replace it. That way it's not an absolute nightmare to get off. Like, silicone should hold pretty decently, but also be somewhat removable. So let's go ahead. I got the 2 pieces that I just cut there. Let's just lay them in and see how it fits and how it looks. All right, check that out, you guys. So it's just taped in place, just roughed in. I was going to cut the ceiling and the floor there, but what I think I'm gonna do is, just because I think crinkle cut's showing up here pretty soon. If you guys don't know, crinkle cut gives us crinkly cuts everywhere. So, yeah, that's why he's named Crinkle Cut. But he's doing his best crinkle cut work. Yeah, I guess he can. But yeah, Nate's been giving us crinkle cuts this whole time, and I keep telling him, dude, quit giving me crinkle cuts. But this is what we have to deal with, folks. But I did a quick little cleanup because it was getting to be a disaster in here. I mean, the floor is just looking even more horrendous the more we brighten up the walls. But check it out, you guys. It's still a long way to go, but huge improvement so far. So I don't know, depending on, time permitting, I might get into the carpet and floor stuff, but it's like I said, as long as everything else is like sanitary and I guess survivable for LS Fest. And there's like all sorts of these little things that I can still mess with, but just haven't had a chance to yet. So what I'm gonna do right now is I want to get this wall prepped for crinkle cut. That way we can wrap all this, and then other than the ceiling, the floor, and gluing all this stuff in place, then this room will be actually looking decent. This wall's ready to go. This one looks ready to go also. The back one here, I think there's a few things, some touch-ups and stuff I gotta do, and we can cover up the master plan in the back here. And then I gotta trim, that's why I got this thing in my hand. If you guys are seeing me wave this thing around, I want to trim off our spray foam that we put here. So let's trim that right now, and then that way I can get some of this stuff finalized for crinkle cut. Alright, so I just kind of threw it on here. This stuff doesn't, I don't know. I don't know if it's because it's down here in the south, but it doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't work very easily as far as trying to get it on here. It's like trying to make peanut butter, or not even like chunky peanut butter smooth. It just does not like to cooperate. So I got it on here. I'm gonna let it dry. We'll sand it, and then we can use a tiny little bit of spackle to make up the difference. But it's like as soon as you get it out of the tin, if you don't get it kind of where you want it within 5-10 seconds, it turns very coarse. So we'll let that, even though it looks like hell, we're gonna let that dry up, and then I'm gonna hit it with the sander and knock it flat, because if I start messing with it, it's just gonna make it worse. Alright, so while that dries, got my little sander here on this multi-tool that is getting worked, and I'm just gonna go around all the holes that were here from that medicine cabinet shelf deal that was originally here. I'm gonna go ahead and knock these flat, then I'm gonna fill them, and then sand them again, and then we should be ready for wallpaper. Alright, so a little update for you guys. So filled all those, sanded those, just waiting for some of the larger spots to dry up a little bit more. While that's going on, there's a couple little spots here that I filled. Check this out, I haven't showed you guys this, I don't think. So the shelves in here are adjustable. They got like these spring-loaded clamps, but look at the screws that were pile driven in here to hold the shelves where this person wanted them. So the only thing I can think of is in the middle, it kind of bows out a little bit, so maybe that had something to do with it, or it was not catching on some of these guys here. But yeah, every single one has just been smashed in with screws. So a couple of screws had came out through here, through the side, so I ended up filling up those. Filled and touched up some holes on the back wall, so that's all ready to go now. And then what I'm messing with is this, so I just started sanding all that stuff, still waiting for that to dry. Popped off this trim here. I think I'm gonna cut that there. So this board that's on top of the bed, this is obviously not originally standard, but I haven't taken it off because it actually, this is probably one of the modifications that makes a little bit of sense. So this widens the original bed by a few inches, which makes it so that we can actually put a queen size mattress in here. Rather than just like a full, so it gives us another several inches this way. You'd be able to tell from here. So see how, hopefully you guys can see how it's a little bit wider than the original frame. So, but what I do want to do at some point, which it doesn't have to be now obviously, but I want to just make this round. So I'll probably get a little jigsaw of some sort and make this nice and round. Same thing with this corner, and then I have to take off about an inch or so off the end because it gets way too close to the cupboards, or whatever we're calling cabinets, when this thing is fully retracted. So that's pretty much the story on that. And then check this out. So I'm going to take off our Joker blind on this so we can get in here and wrap this. This was one screw that obviously was not standard, but this went all the way through and popped out the exterior. So this is like a 4-inch screw, which I don't know why, because there was already a bracket holding it on there, but no idea why it needed additional support. But anyways, let me pop off the Joker shade, and then should be almost ready. I gotta cut that right there. There is a little bit of a pocket down here. This was kind of like just wasted space prior, but if I maintain this, I'm just gonna go ahead and we'll just, by the time you put the mattress in here, you're not gonna see any of that anyways. But yeah, I think I'd prefer to keep a wider bed footprint rather than just have wasted space, right? All right, so I just finished cleaning, goo-gonning, degreasing. I had to goo-gon it because there was duct tape goo all stuck to it, and I degreased them, and now I'm going to paint them with this plastic paint. It's the trim that goes around this door. That's why there's these large gaps. So once I paint this, then we can reinstall that, and that'll be all trimmed out nicely. Let me go ahead, get this stuff painted, and should look fresher than ever. There's like writing and just a little bit faded out looking, so it should look brand new after this. All right, guys, huge update. Me and Nate just been working away, mostly me, not so much Nate, but.
Such a liar, dude.
Okay, so he's been here all day, and he did this one strip.
Calling me out.
He didn't even bother doing this piece here, but he did this one strip. He did this one strip. And then he only did halfway across the wall. Not even. He's still doing the bottom.
I had to fix this man's roof. He doesn't know how to measure properly.
I asked.
So someone had to show him how to properly build.
I asked him to help me with a little bit of the ceiling for 2 seconds, and now that's all day for him.
It has been a 4-hour project.
Anyways, so Nate doesn't know how to work in time management very well, but I ended up doing the floor. Got this on, so we end up using that other material. It's not quite as fancy as the walls. I took down the walls, or at least the 2 sides for now. And then this is gonna be this portion here. This is the access panel. None of this is fastened in place just yet. But while I got his help, he helped me kind of cut this, because I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera. This wall here, it is like on an angle like that. So it is not square. So we actually had to cut the roof piece, or the ceiling piece, in there on a crazy angle to match the mess up essentially. But it's not like we're gonna redo this whole wall. It's just the way that it was built. So when I tried making a perfectly square piece for the ceiling, which is right here, just hanging out, it did not fit. So we ended up trimming it, because essentially the way this goes is this wall goes out further out. The distance between here and there is wider than it is there to that corner. So what I'm gonna do now is, we got this piece, we got it all trimmed up, and then I've got PL Premium, so we are going to glue it to the ceiling here. I'm gonna worry about cutting this stuff out afterwards. Once it's actually glued and set, then I'll come in here, I'm gonna drill a hole, and then I'll just use my multi-tool, cut that out. We're gonna redo this anyways. And then if you look over here, I've got these here that I used for when we transported everything moving from California to Florida. But I went ahead, and we're gonna use these to hold the ceiling up and push it up while it sets. So wish us luck. This is gonna be a bit of a process. I've got 4 of these here, so we'll see how it goes. All right, we got skeet all over the roof. Let's put this thing up.
I can't take him serious.
All right, let's see. I don't know if you guys can see, but too bad.
All right, let me get my step stool.
Get a couple of those handy.
Like these?
Yeah. I'm scared it's gonna drip or something.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Your side.
Grab.
All right, I'm on my side.
Let's grab one of these.
To be honest, dude, what's it kind of on there? It's kind of on there.
Should be.
Just lug it down to your side.
Yeah. And it's gonna use this to kind of hold it, so we got more than one hand.
You think it's small enough to fit one right here? Everything's on there.
I don't even think we need the stilts.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I was like, it's kind of like on there. But it's kind of good to have one at the same time.
So that originally had
That carpet thing.
Yeah, this.
No, not the camera.
Oh. Still going. Hey! So check it out. The ceiling is in. So we're gonna cut the skylight and the vent afterwards, and then also the AC vent's all blocked off. But we're gonna cut all those open afterwards once it cures. But that thing, we didn't almost need the stands. We put the stands in just for extra support. But as soon as we like tacked it up, that stuff just grabbed. PL Premium for the win. That thing ain't ever come down. Alright, so it's the next day, you guys, and our ceiling is a million times better now. So still gonna cut out the openings, but not a big deal. You can actually, with the light coming in, you can see perfectly where the two openings are. So if I want to cut them out, won't be that hard. For now, I'm not gonna bother with it just yet, because it looks better like this, to be honest. But let's go ahead, and what I'm gonna do next is probably glue the floor down. I'm gonna glue these down because these are the other side pieces that need to be here as well. And then I gotta fasten the tub, and then we're gonna put the back wall in. So kind of couldn't really go in here last night while the ceiling set up, but that's the situation there. And we'll just start plugging away, starting getting some of the stuff buttoned up. That's as far as Nate got with the wallpaper. So he was here most of the day yesterday. He did this wall, and then got to there. So that's the Nate paste there. But anyways, let's get some more stuff done. All right, just before I start on the other stuff, I fastened the tub. I'm gonna take it back out because I want to put a little bit of silicone under the edge, just so this doesn't kind of squeak on the leading edge, and then glue these down. But I'm actually going to change my mind. I'm gonna cut out those two. Reason being is because the sun is beating so much on this one section, it's getting hot, and the rest of it's staying a different color, and it's causing it to kind of warp a little bit. So I'm gonna take that out. That way this one portion isn't getting superheated on both sides. So I'm literally just gonna do what you guys saw there. I'm gonna turn the light off, and then I'm gonna use my multi-tool and cut those out. Once I kind of get started with the cut, then I can really see, you know, what's going on in there, and yeah, just get her done. Alright, so I've got the ceiling cutouts all done and our AC vent, so it actually makes being in here a lot more enjoyable. I tell you, just with this vent covered up for that short period of time, it really makes a difference in here. So next up, what I'm going to do is I've got the 4 screws in there. I'm going to pull this up, like I said, put some silicone on here. Also going to glue on those front faceplates. I'll show you guys the stuff that I'm using. So I'm using a bath adhesive. So it's construction adhesive for bath. So here, there you go, power grab, 0 seconds, instant grab. It actually has a picture of what we're doing back there. You can see, like, I don't know if you guys see that, like the zigzag back and forth pattern on shower walls. So we're gonna use that there. And then for the actual edges, I've got like more of a silicone, like caulking type deal that we're gonna use in all of our corners, but I wanna go back and forth. Before I do that though, let's go ahead and we'll pull this up, get these front faceplates done here. I wanna save this for last because I'm gonna be stepping on it a lot. And yeah, we'll pull this up and kind of get everything situated. Okay, what I'm doing right now is just before I finalize this, I want to make sure that everything's draining properly, and it is. So I just dumped almost 5 gallons of water in here. I want to make sure there's no leaks. Make sure that we're draining properly. Obviously that's an excess of water than you would normally see all at once, but it's all draining, it's all sloping. One more test. I don't know why the water from my well is looking like that, but there we go. We are good. It's draining. It's not getting backed up. So I am confident in finalizing that tank. Man, that is nasty. I'm gonna have to wipe that up. It's gonna stain our brand new thing. So just wiped that up. I'm happy with the outcome of that. So I can take it up and lay some silicone there. I think I'm actually, or adhesive, I think I'm actually gonna put a strip of it on the inside to hold to the wall. Originally there was screws holding it here, but I don't really like that construction because that's gonna kick out our wall a little bit. I'd rather just adhere it. I might use the screws to pull it in until the adhesive clings, and then we'll take the screws back out. All right, so tub is up, or shower tray, whatever. So I'm gonna put some across here, and then put some on the sides and the back, and also I'm gonna glue in these guys there. So I just glued this piece on here. This stuff is really weird to use. So this Loctite power grab stuff, it is like the thickest, most non-pliable stuff I've ever used. So I didn't put this down yet. What I did was, because this thing is like a perfect fit, I just scribed the line there, and I'm just gonna put the tub adhesive underneath that so that I can actually get this in and then drop it down like that. So now I'm gonna lift this out, set this over here for just a second. Now I've got my line. I'm gonna put that nasty crap all around there and then on the face of it. Again, not completely necessary, but just it'll eliminate a lot of squeaking and hold this thing in place without me having to use screws everywhere and then mess up my sidewall profile. Hopefully you guys will be able to see this stuff. It is just the weirdest. It's like, I don't even know how to describe it. There it is. This is very strange stuff. Maybe I should try to come to that line a little bit more. Certainly not going to hurt anything. Okay. And just put it across here. That way this doesn't squeak, because this was squeaking like crazy before. Alright, so there's my little job there. I haven't put this in yet because it's kind of holding the floor in, but I can put this in afterwards, no problem. So I'll set this to the side over there. Let's grab this and set it down. Okay, so everything's kind of just pulling itself into itself. Everything is so flimsy in the RVs. Like the walls are made out of cardboard. So any little bit of strength we can add, I think is going to be a welcome change. So there we go. So I'm going to let this kind of set. The front's feeling good now. Not going to have any squeaky squeaks in here because this is just going to be kind of planted. So we'll let this kind of cure up a little bit. And I'm going to keep measuring and messing with the back wall and get it ready here. Alright, so that back panel is in, you guys. That adhesive is something odd. So I've got it back there, but like this board is so thin you can almost feel where there is and isn't adhesive, but I've just been pressing on it, which you guys probably were watching me doing as much as possible. So anyways, that is on. I don't know, maybe I'll switch to just regular old silicone for the sides, because that stuff is a little bit odd. It's like extremely thick and it doesn't seem to like smush the way you would hope for it to, if that's my most I don't know, that's the most elaborate way I can explain it to you. You would think it would like disperse a little bit, but it's so thick that it doesn't really disperse very well. It grabs, that's for dang sure, but I don't know, weird stuff. Anyways, that's in there. So I'm gonna continue to measure my sides. I am gonna have to drill a new hole for my water to come through to get to my connection for here, because this was based on like the old style like cold hot deal, and we're gonna do away with that. So I gotta do that. Also, I gotta take some Goo Gone and get all this off of here. Not sure if we're gonna end up leaving this brown door trim, but the new piece is gonna come like right to the edge. So I want to get the goo off before I get my new clean piece on there too. So let me keep messing with some stuff and I'll update you guys here in a minute. Alright, I just did my final test fits on this one and this one. I'm happy with how everything fits. I just did some small tweaking just at the bottom, because this is on a bit of a slope like this here. So I just adjusted like maybe 1/4 inch or so, just making the bottom of the sheets a little bit on the angle to match our tray. Just so it's a little bit closer and I can get it where I want. But other than that, everything's looking good. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna try the silicone on these two. The back one doesn't matter too much because we're looking at it straight on, but I'm a little bit worried if I put that thicker stuff on the side, we're gonna see it from a side profile. So that's why I'm gonna use the silicone. It should be a little more pliable. It should like squeeze in a little bit more. If you're wondering why I put so much on the back, it's because you gotta remember this RV is it's gonna get really hot in here, and then also when you turn the AC on, then it's gonna get cold. So this thing's gonna see extreme temperature swings. So I don't want these things to bubble if at all possible. So that's why I put so much on there, is to try to just get it so that it's gonna be not gonna be any glue gaps in it, so that it's just hopefully no pockets. Anyways, that's my logic on that. Let me put some silicone deal on here, on there. We should be able to get these two in. Alright you guys, so it is now fully installed. I really liked using the silicone more than that adhesive, construction adhesive, even though it's bathroom construction adhesive. This stuff went on, it held really good, it held tight, but I could feel it actually smush down behind, whereas this, it was like as soon as we got it on there. So that's on there. I still have to do all my edges, but I'm not going to worry about that just yet. I'm going to pull this up and I'm gonna silicone this to the floor also, and I'm not going crazy with the adhesive because it's gonna be a high traffic area, so there is gonna be a point in time, depending on whether I own it or somebody else owns it, that this is gonna have to come up. So I don't want to make it an absolute nightmare, because likelihood of this getting replaced is very high. So I'm just gonna put silicone down on it, that'll hold it, and there's also gonna be silicone around the perimeter, so I think it'll be more than enough. Plus the toilet itself is gonna be bolted down, pushing this thing into the ground, so as long as it's kind of just holding it in place, that's really all we need. And just for reference, the old floor wasn't even glued down or anything at all. Alright you guys, might look insane in here, and it kind of is. So floor is now glued in, walls are all glued in. I've got these bars in here that have been coming in super handy. One of the reasons why I have them in place is because what I'm trying to do is press up here. So, because right here I kind of want this wall to come out and match. Alright guys, it's the next day and I'm going to keep it 100% with you guys. So I came out and I was hoping to start siliconing all the edges, but I'm having to scramble right now. Here is one of the shower walls. And then right now I've got this down back in teardown mode. So what was going on is the silicone over here didn't hold, and what was happening is I left this sheet so I could show you. It was actually lifting the corners everywhere. So see how this is lifting up? And then the corner was lifting here, so I was like, all right, maybe the silicone didn't work. Maybe the back wall, the construction adhesive that we used, would be better. This is not holding at all either. Look at that. But I will tell you guys that our ceiling with the same material, we used PL Premium there. I didn't want to go that aggressive with the glue for the shower walls, just so I keep them somewhat serviceable, but this stuff is just not holding whatsoever. So I'm gonna pull it all down. I've got this in tear down mode, so I'm gonna scrape the walls like you kind of see I did here, back down, scrape it off the backs of the boards like I did over there, and then I'm gonna go PL Premium. I'm just gonna spread it with a putty knife so it's a little bit thinner, put this all back up, but it is what it is. Kind of learning as we go here, but I guess in the RV, like, this stuff is just not gonna hold up. Even that stuff, which is made for it, it's actually made for shower. Like, look at how easy that's just falling off. So take it all off, scrape it all down. I got that in the tub to protect it because it's gonna be messy, and we'll try it again. Okay, well here we go, you guys. I got a massive thing of PL Premium, so we're gonna use that this time. I'm gonna spread it out a little bit thinner with a little trowel or putty knife to make it not so high of like beads. So I'll probably just smear all over. Gonna do the same sort of S patterns I'm gonna do around the perimeter, and then I'm gonna hit it so that it's smoother, so that it's not like a big fat bead when I go to squish it up against. So that's the plan. Everything's scraped up, cleaned up. I made a huge mess, but got all the old stuff off of both the front and the back. Might have to dust this off a little bit because there's some remnants on there. I actually was a little bit, I felt a tiny bit better. I'm still kind of, I don't know, whatever about the situation, but Home Depot actually, I brought all that crap back that didn't hold, and they actually gave me my money back on the stuff. I wasn't sure if they were going to, because like some of those tubes are completely empty because we finished them all, but I literally went there with like freaking chunks of silicone on my shirt, and the guy was just like, yeah, no worries, just take it back. So at least they did that for me, but ended up getting this stuff. So let me just spread it. I'm gonna put the back wall on, the same procedure, back wall first, and then we'll do the two sides. So I'm just hoping the back wall holds up, because like I said, the ceiling's been holding mint, and this has been here for a few days. So I'm really happy with the way that came out. So hopefully the same can happen here. I didn't want to go as extreme with the stuff, but obviously that stuff was not holding. All right, so back wall's on there. I really like the adhesion that you can feel. So that thing's on there. Obviously it's gonna take time to cure, but yeah, it just feels a lot better going on the wall. So I'm gonna go ahead, do the same with these two. I was gonna spread it with a trowel, but I don't know, I chose not to. You can feel it, but you can't see it. So I don't know, it is what it is, I guess. Like I said, same sort of deal with this. It's the same thing, but I don't know if I should try spreading it out with a trowel. At this point, as long as it stays on the wall, it's probably my biggest concern. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means, but anyways, that's on there. Let me start doing the sides. All right, well, she is up here, so there we go. I got everything kind of braced up so it can hopefully cure, and let's hope round two works out better. Right now I'm gonna mess with some wallpaper, see if I can get this section done. All right, you guys, so I finished that wall there. I was gonna record with the battery on the camera died, and I just really wanted to get it done because I already had the wallpaper paste on the wall, and you only have a certain amount of time before that stuff starts setting. So really happy with the way that's turning out. So I did all the way there. I even did the strip in the corner there. So pretty happy with that. I still gotta finish sanding that before I can kind of get in there. So I'm gonna probably try to get that a little bit closer, because that's gonna probably take a few rounds of sanding and filling before I get it 100%. So I'll start messing with that. The other thing too is you might notice this hanging down here. I swear RVs are like a constant thing, you guys. So I noticed that we were getting some staining here. Nothing crazy, like never enough to be like dripping, but it looks like somebody installed these after the fact, I would guess. I don't think these were standard, but essentially what these are is they interrupt the speakers for back here. So maybe if somebody wants a party in the front but you don't want music back here, if somebody's maybe trying to sleep or something, I don't know what the situation would be, but these cut those out. But you'll notice here this drip of water off of that switch, and then I saw like just barely anything, a couple drips down here, and what I was noticing is it's not leaking from the perimeter of here, but actually where the blower fan is, there is some condensation is essentially coming through when it's running, because right now there's no drips now that I turned it off. But apparently it's common for, there's like a drip tray up there that bugs or leaves or whatever can get jammed in the drip tray, and then the tray overflows into here. So I'm gonna have to go up there at some point, and you just probably saw that drip come straight from the center. So if it was leaking from the edge, it would be one thing, but it's leaking from where the blower and the actual AC is on top. So because there's 4 bolts here that squeeze down like a neoprene seal, and it's not leaking around the perimeter from anything I can see, but it's leaking from the center. So that would lead to the tray overflowing. So we'll have to go up and deal with that after. For now I'm just gonna leave it off just so I don't keep making more condensation. It's already decent in here. We got the front AC running. This stuff is still setting up, and yeah, let me start knocking down some of this stuff, because like I said, gonna need a few rounds of that, because I really want to get this trimmed out through here, because this is a pretty ugly section. Back there, surprisingly, is not, well, I shouldn't say that. This doesn't look too bad. The mirror, it actually can stay. I bought one more of those patches because this was where there was an outlet and some weird stuff, if you guys remember. But I bought another patch for there, so I'll have to do some patchwork there. So let me get patching a couple of these major holes, and then that way we can start laying up some wallpaper in these 2 pockets here. All right, so sanded that down a little bit. I got some fill. That's mostly, it's like 1/4 inch at least of that wood stuff, if you guys remember. That stuff is super solid. And then what I'm gonna do right now is I just removed the plug out of here so I could get this modification that was done here. I'm gonna patch this. I just wanted to get a little bit more room. So I've got one of those metal patches. I think it's actually right here. Let's see, should be in our Home Depot bag, because I picked one up. And it is. So here you go. So it's got fiber in it and like some metal. Put it on there, put the spackle on top, and it'll come out mint. If you guys remember, we did the exact same patch over here where there was that hole that went through the microwave, that massive hole. Came out really good, solid. Did the same deal there. So gonna do the same thing, and let's get to it. All right, so I thought most of it was recording, but turns out only some of it was recording, but I ended up doing all there, all to there. Now I'm back over here where I need to finish sanding. So I'm gonna sand this. It's pretty much ready to go, but I'll sand it and then I should be able to just finish off that section there. Okay, I think I'm actually gonna wait until maybe tomorrow, because even though this appears to be dry, it is. Okay, so while that dries, I'm gonna move on to another wall, just keep wallpapering. So I'm gonna do this one. That one I still got a small little patch to do on the bottom of that. This one I'm actually wood gluing the bottom of it, because the bottom of the kind of wall split. So I did the same thing with this one. I wood glued it, and then I ended up putting some fill in there. So I'm gonna have to do the same thing with this one. And then I do want to get to this bathroom, but I got all this freaking bars everywhere holding all the walls in place while they cure. So I'm not gonna mess with that. So this one's all cleaned. Let me glue this up, and then we'll go ahead and get this one on. All right, you guys, the next day, my camera ended up, the battery went out on it, but I ended up doing this whole wall here. So now the only part besides the little, you know, makeup cubby or whatever you want to call that, is just that spot there. We've got this, all in there is done. I didn't do that top strip up there, but kind of just minor details. Still gotta do these tiny little pieces here and there, but we are starting to look pretty wallpapered up. It's looking pretty good. I'm happy to report that all my walls are sticking with the PL Premium. That was a nightmare yesterday, you guys, but yeah, everything looks good. All this craziness is just my contraption to kind of keep pressure on the walls as everything cured, and seemed to have worked pretty good. So my next thing was going to be to silicone all this, but what I want to do is get all these bars out of here, then I can wallpaper this, and then this can look a heck of a lot better. What I want to do right before it gets too warm outside, because it's like crazy hot, I want to see if I can pop up on the roof and see if I can figure out this drain issue up here. That way I can run my AC again, because right now I just have the front one running. So let's pop up there real quick before it gets too much hotter outside. It's already a million degrees outside. I got this one working good. Another thing I want to do is see how I have this open. There's a company that makes these things, which essentially, I'll show you guys on this one because it'll make more sense. The way this works is really stupid. So you can see I have the front one open. So that allows the air just to blow out of the unit. When you close this, it forces the air into here, and that's what runs your ducting. There's a duct run here and a duct run there, and it just forces it in there. So what happens is a lot of swirling happens in here and a lot of condensation occurs. And there's a company that it's way overpriced, but it just works. It's like 85 bucks, and it clicks into there, and then it clicks into your ducts. And so it essentially gives you a manifold instead of just air swirling around in here. And apparently it'll drop your AC temps like quite a bit. So down here in the south, that would definitely help. All right, let me pop up there and see what I can find out. All right, so I've got it all clean. The only other thing I'm gonna do is, it's almost like, in my opinion, a bit of a design flaw. So if you look in the back here, that tray that's right up against the fan, that has, it's plastic, but there's nowhere for the water to go. So this strip tray right here around our fins, that one drains to the drain, but see that water pooling right there? There's nowhere for that water to go. It just kind of sits there. So what I'm gonna do is just in the bottom of the case, in the very corner, I'm gonna make my own little drip hole just in the steel, just so any water that potentially from condensation gets on here, it's got somewhere to go out the side. Because that appears to be where my water leak is coming from, is somewhere against the fan there. So water's getting there from probably just condensation and dripping off of this. So I'm gonna make a couple small marks, and I'll see how it does. All right, so we're in here now. I just got this AC running wide open again, and I'm gonna keep an eye out. I'm gonna point with this brush since I'm about to do something else to make sure that no water or condensation starts dripping from this neoprene seal right here next to the blower. But so far it appears to be dry, but I'm gonna overwork it today, and we'll see if I get any condensation leaving it running full tilt all day. So in here, got all the stuff out, took out all the stand supports, and I'm happy to report that the shower is looking good, you guys. Everything's holding nice, so I'm happy about that. And now it's time to make this side look good. So the reason why I'm holding this, I'm gonna put our wallpaper paste on all here and start wallpapering here. Hopefully I have enough. That's the goal. I haven't done that section there, but I really want to get this bathroom kind of looking decent, at least so I feel like we got one section of the RV at least underway. So let me go ahead, paste this, wallpaper it. Wish me luck that I have enough wallpaper. I ordered some more, but it's not going to be here until tomorrow, so I'm hoping I can knock this out and get this looking decent. Alright guys, so I ended up wrapping that part. So that is all done, taken care of. Looks really good all through here now. Haven't done this yet. Still gonna do a little bit of sanding and probably, I don't know, might be able to get it in one coat, but still gonna sand that out. And then also I'm missing material, so gonna wait for more material to arrive. This is as far as I got in the bathroom. I did one little strip there as well. I still have to silicone everything, so all this is gonna get silicone, but everything's looking real good with our shower. And then we're missing this, which actually I'm hoping it's the right one, but we'll try it in just a second. It's in that box. And then there was one strip right here that I just did, so just from here down to the floor, that was missing. Again, don't have enough material to do this or any of that just yet. Let's see if that fits, and then I want to maybe get started on something here. But all right, so here's the trim panel for the skylight. It's kind of weird. It's got like a piece of plastic on it. That's a piece of film on it, but I don't know why the skylight has an additional piece of trim, but I am happy to tell you guys that it does fit. So I wasn't too sure, because on this side, the way the slope of the roof is, it's like a lot thinner than on that side, and I wasn't sure based on the dimensions. I never got one with the RV, so wasn't sure what was original here, but all right, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm a little bit nervous on getting the screws into the actual I don't know how to explain it. I'm a little bit nervous drilling through that. I don't want to like shatter it or crack it, so rather than just send the screws in, I'm probably gonna pre-drill it and then put the screws in, and then we'll have a trim piece up in there. All right, you guys, so one more piece of trim. Yes, that's a true white. I don't know, the way the tinted portion is kind of landing on it almost looks a little bit yellow compared to how white and bright everything else is in here, but it's coming out really, really good. So what I think I'm going to do right now, because I want to keep doing some stuff, even though I cleaned all these walls and everything, I got a notch out here and here for the new sink, and then I've got some material I want to try it out on that. So let me notch this out first so that my sink drops down, because the new sink has 2 extra mounting points. And then I'm gonna try covering this with this material I got, because I'm a little bit excited to try it out. So I should have enough for here. And then I also was gonna do this one, but I still gotta finish sanding the holes that I filled in on it. But over there I should be able to just knock it out. All right, so it wasn't much of a modification, but now our new sink fits perfectly in there. I just had to make a little divot on both sides for right there. And now this drops in perfectly. So that's that. It's not a fancy sink, but it was a $30 sink that fits in here without any headache for now. I mean, later on maybe we'll redesign it, put a new countertop in here, blah blah blah. But what I'm gonna try to do now is I want to see if I can vinyl wrap this with this stuff. So I'm gonna take this back out. I'm gonna clean all of this right here, and I'll show you guys the stuff that I picked up. So yeah, I'm getting a couple drips here. So what I'm thinking is, I think it's on, there's a cover that goes over top it. There's a small hole in it, and I think that's just enough to drip water in there and get into the wrong part of the case that is where the blower motor is. It's the only thing I can think of. So I might try going up there and actually putting a little bit of tape over top of it just for now to see if that helps matters and stops the dripping. I'm kind of curious. Or I'm gonna leave that off for now so that I can correlate if it's raining, if I'm getting a drip, or if it's just AC running, if I'm not getting a drip. But let me clean this off, and then I'll try this. So this is the vinyl. I got 2 different ones, but I think I'm gonna go with this one. This one looks a little cooler. So it's this like fake countertop looking deal. It'll look better than what's there for now, and we'll see how it goes. Damn! How good does that look, you guys? It's in person it looks just as good as it's hopefully coming out on camera. I only got one light in here right now. I gotta put the other one up, but check that out. That is wild. I don't know how well it's gonna hold up, of course, but and then I'm gonna silicone the edges and stuff, just to try to keep water out, of course, because normally the bathroom can sometimes get a little bit wild. But like, look at that. I guess, like, I don't know, I'm kind of just, let me know what you guys think below. Does it really matter? I'm like kind of laughing because I'm kind of just throwing this together because I've only got a month to get it together. So materials aren't like perfect, and I'm not like an interior designer, but you can kind of see this one's got like a grayish, this one's more of a black-ish, but I don't know. Either way, I think it looks good. It looks 1,000 times better than before. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop my sink in here, and I do have the faucet for it as well. So here's the sink. You know, the sink's brand new. It's like dirtier than the countertop now, but this should look amazing now. Wow, what a difference, you guys. So I also have a brand new faucet. So like I said, I do want to probably waterproof this stuff at some point, but for now I think we can probably just throw it together. I gotta figure out this thing. I don't know, it never really came with like a official drain. I can't remember where I think this was from the old one, but you would think that it would have came with more than just a spigot. I guess maybe that's the plug. It seems crazy just to have a hole sitting there all willy-nilly, but let me figure this out. I got a faucet. Things are kind of a disaster right now, but this faucet should look pretty nice in here too. Like, look. Bam! Shoo! Look at that, guys. Budget ballin', or wish.com budget ballin' right now. So let me mess with this. I gotta figure out this drain situation that it came with, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I had to glue that on there. So I just got that, and then the previous owner of my house, actually of all places, had some of the stuff kicking around in the cupboards when I bought the place, and I also found some of this CAC cord. So I go ahead, and it's almost like there's a groove right there for it. So I'm just gonna lay that little CAC cord through there, and around, and then drop this into place, and then I should be able to put my faucet on and hopefully not have to take this off. Alright, so this is what it looks like, and then it comes with a big roll, so I just rolled it around there. Hopefully it doesn't come out too much past this. Hopefully it squishes inwards because it's gray, but I had it laying around, so heck, why not. The original stuff was actually gray that I peeled off here now that I think about it, but I don't think there's anything else I would like to clean this up in here a little bit, but I don't think that now is the time for that because we gotta go. So I'm gonna throw this little chunk out. Let's drop the sink in. I'm gonna hook this up so this is now cured. That'll slide into here, our little collar, and then I'll hook up our cold and hot to our faucet, and we are one step closer to turning the water on. Just quick side note, I gotta do this one here, so these still, our cold and our hots here are open, so can't turn the plumbing on yet to test this, but let's drop it in anyways. Okay, check it out, you guys. So we got the sink in here, and I've been filming over the course of several days, honestly, just because 5 million things on the go right now. We're working on this. We're working on our Z06 for LS Fest, which is now 4 weeks away, 30 days pretty much, so we have to leave with the Corvette and with this RV that's currently in shambles. So I ended up getting all the wallpaper done in here, so we've now got all the wallpaper in here. And then what I'm doing right now is mounting this badass shower unit. So this is gonna be probably the best RV shower I've ever seen. So yeah, definitely upgrading stuff, making it nicer. Why not? I mean, most of the stuff was pretty cheap. So just the regular, originally, if you look here, there was just 2 handles right there, and they were off center to the shower, and then all it had was just like a spray handle up top. And part of the problem with RVs is your ceiling height, so I figured, well, why not get this unit where literally it's like the shower head couldn't get further to the top of the ceiling. So I have this here. It also comes with a spray wand out the side. It's got 4 settings, pretty cool. It's got this waterfall deal. It's got the shower head thing, so that's 2 settings. It's got body jets, and then the 4th setting is it's gonna have a handle with a wand on it that you can aim at yourself or, you know, move it all around, whatnot. So I think this is gonna be a super slick looking setup in here. Haven't done any of the caulking yet. I gotta still caulk all the corners. I was just letting everything kind of set up, but it's gonna look really, really good. I gotta figure out what I can do for shower curtain, but even just super temporary, I can literally just throw up one of those expandable shower curtain rods and just get any sort of shower curtain for now, and I can always do something more permanent later. Also got the light mounted. I'm gonna silicone around that so that's good to go. That light's on there. I've got a new fan assembly there. I also put in that, which I just took out right now because I've been kind of going up and down with it. The new toilet arrived too. So the worst part of all of this right now is going to be this. Like, I need to paint that gray or some sort of other color ASAP, and then this will look amazing in here. So got this nice matte black finish here. I matched it with that. This was 30 bucks, this was 30 bucks, this was 150 bucks for this whole thing, so it really wasn't like crazy. So all the like RV shower things were like 100 bucks, 80, 100 bucks anyways, so I figured why not make it nice with this unit. So I'm just mounting this on the wall, and I just put tape around the edge of here because there's 2 hoses, and what I gotta do is drill a hole to get them into here. So this is our access panel. This has always been this way. So you can see there, that's where the old faucets were, and this would be the access panel to get to that. So I'm gonna drill a hole, it's gonna come through there, and then we're gonna bring our 2 hoses over to here, and then we'll connect them here, and that way we'll have full access to do whatever we need. So other than that, the 2 brackets are mounted to the wall. It looks really solid, surprisingly. So, and I'm also, once we kind of finalize everything, I'll end up running a bead of silicone along the edge of this, I think. That way it'll add a little bit of strength to it as well, in addition to the 2 brackets that are holding it. So I'm gonna pop this off. I'm gonna drill my hole to bring my lines into this box area, and then we can connect it. All right, you guys, so ended up putting that hole there and dremelled it out. It came out nice and clean, and this is the way these are gonna go. So that comes through there. Got my little adapter deals there. It came with these 90s, so it ended up working out perfectly. I might replace the seals since we're in here, but that's going to fit. Our cover panel is going to go, our cover panel will go over top, no problem. That's all mounted. So now I can take off all of this tape. I don't know if I'm going to put it up there final. I got to do the caulking in that corner, like across the top there. I don't think I'll be able to do the caulking up there without having this out of the way. So I might have to do the caulking now, because I really want to turn on the water here pretty soon and test that all out. So let me take all this tape off so we can kind of get an idea how it looks. I got to clean up my mess for a second, and yeah, let's check it out. All right, you guys, so it's the next day and I managed to get all the caulking done, or at least most of it. I'm not no expert at it, so, but I think overall came out pretty decent. I'm happy with it. So I did the bottom, all the corners, I did up there, and then back there. I gotta still do the edges up there where the wall kind of meets the ceiling and whatnot, but I can do that at any time. I also went ahead and put silicone behind the bracket and then screwed them in and let this cure overnight so that it adds a little bit of support to the actual bracket. And at the same time too, if any water happens to go behind it, it's not going to seep through the bolt and like into the back of our wall. Down here, I'm not too sure. I'm going to end up siliconing the actual unit on the sides once it's on here, but I figured this would be an added little bonus. I'm actually thinking I might have to trim a little bit of that silicone at the top there, because otherwise it might not sit all the way down. Other than that though, we'll get that on there, and then we can hook up our fittings here. See these like spin fittings? So when I got the RV down in here, and I just got back from the store because I needed some stuff, this panel was removed. And then you'll see this weird link here. I guess there's like a bypass, it says. But what was going on is there's this hose here. And if I go back in my Home Depot bag, because I had to get some supplies, it was disconnected. So obviously we don't want to turn the water on. So there was this deal here. So there was that, but this had popped off of the 90, the little clip that held it on. So I don't know if somebody was messing with it. The other thing I didn't like too is it had just this steel pipe here, and you can see how it was rusting. So I ended up, I don't know what part of the water system that's on, to be honest. So I went ahead and I got a brass one. It was stupid expensive, but I figured I don't want rusty parts on a water system. That's, you know, I don't think I'll ever drink the water, but you know what I'm saying. So got the brass one, and then I had to get a new one of those swivel 90 PEX fittings. I got some PEX clamps as well, and then I got the correct PEX swivel elbow is what they're calling it. So crimp it back on. I'm gonna put the brass fitting on there, and then that should be that. And then I want to see if we can maybe put water to this thing. That's the goal for this video. So that took all of 3 minutes. So now I've got that back on there. Again, this was disconnected and it was hanging there. I've got our brass piece in there. So not sure what this little loop is for. There probably is some sort of reason why that's like that. I don't know what might have been here at one point, but anyways, that's back in there. The steel pipe is out, and let's put the shower head on. I'm making a mess everywhere right now, but let's go ahead and put our shower system on there and hook up those lines. All right guys, so I hooked up our plumbing here. Unit is on the wall. It's looking really good. I still have some trim and stuff to put back up, the skylight trim and whatnot, but I'm eager to try this. I have a brand new toilet, but I want to paint this cabinet first. But I do want to turn on the water, so I just put a cap here for now. Double checked those. Those look to be tight. These look to be tight. Let's check this one. Make sure that nothing has been messed with on this. There's some sort of shut off valve. Let me inspect this. Make sure there's no tomfoolery going on with this one before I turn the water on potentially. Okay, I see some sort of shut off valve, what I would believe on the cold water supply, and then there's some sort of T that looks like it's capped. I don't know if that's factory. I don't even know if you guys can see that right there, but everything looks to be tight. And then I went ahead and I bought one of these water pressure regulators, because if you do or don't know, you know, you can potentially hook up to water sources when you're on the road, whatever, and have way too much pressure. So I got one of those, and then I got a filter. I'm gonna hook up the water. I'm just gonna ever so slightly turn it on and just run around here like a maniac and make sure we got no leaks and see what happens. All right, so here's the setup. We got a filter, pressure regulator, little flexible hose. Put this on, and we'll put our tap hose on this side. All right, so I don't know why I'm kind of stressed out doing this, but I just hope that there's no crazy surprises. This thing here is, I need to clean this up. I don't know if it's gonna seal here right now. We'll find out in a second, because it is like, I was barely able to get any threads in. So I'm just gonna turn this on ever so slightly, and we're gonna see what kind of goes on here. I don't know if it's gonna leak out of that, or if we got a good seal. Oh, there we go. Seems to be holding pressure. I didn't turn this all the way, you guys, because I don't trust this thing yet. Let's see. See if we got water and not any leaks. No leaks that I can see there. We'll test the taps in just a second. This all looks good and dry. I don't see any water leaks there. Let's see. Do we have a functioning sink? This would be crazy. Ooh. Thought I heard something. It might be super slow because I barely turned it on. Let's see. Let's double check our hose thing back here. Okay, that thing's not leaking. So how does this work? Bypass. Is it maybe off? I gotta see what the deal is with this, because I feel like maybe that's not hooked up right. I don't know. Bypass says straight up and down. Normal flow that way. Let me see. So no leaks, which is good. Does this one work? No action here. Let's see. Go back outside for a second. That little valve says to bypass the water heater, so for whatever that's worth. We should have water, I would think. Let's see. Maybe we have to do something in here. I'm new to RV life, you guys. I do not claim to be any sort of expert at any of this. Only thing I can think of is maybe we have to have the pump on. Does that make sense? I would think that would work and not have to have the pump. That looks nasty. Are we supposed to clean this out? Oh, it's not that bad actually. So I kind of want to rinse this out actually. I think that might be the case. Let me call Steve. Maybe Steve knows. What I think is happening is there's this little check valve that we hook up to, and I don't think it's allowing the water to come through, is kind of my suspicion, because I'm not hearing any water get past right here. So the water's coming in here, and this should be pressurized, and it's not. And there's a check valve right there. That one that I was telling you was kind of all gummed. So I'm gonna go ahead, disconnect the water again. I'm gonna unscrew that piece, and then I can take that piece outside and try putting water through it, and we'll see if that's the issue. All right, so it's holding pressure, but I think it's just to here. And I took, it was double sealed, and it had a spring, and then the part of the check valve just kind of fell apart. So I don't think it's pressing that way to open it, if I had to guess. I think something weird's going on with that. So I'm gonna go ahead, take this, shut this back off, take this off without squirting ourselves, and then I'm gonna unscrew this piece out of there. Okay, so I managed to actually take the plunger out, and there's a little lip where there was another piece of plastic is supposed to snap over top of. So somebody, I think, was messing with this, and this is supposed to prevent it from going all the way in. So I might potentially be able to click that back over top of that lip. If I can, then I might be able to reinstall this and all might be well. If I leave this completely out, then when you disconnect from city water, it's going to be just pouring water out of there until it essentially drains all the lines in the RV. So that's kind of what we're up against here. I can't figure out how to get it out though. So there's no like C-clip. So I'm not entirely sure how this comes off without destroying this whole box, which I'm not trying to do right now. Unless you're supposed to destroy this one to get the other one out, but now at least I can see straight through. So technically I can put a gasket in here, hook up the lines, and it should work. Okay, so we got the plunger, the spring out, and I just reconnected everything. So let's see now what we got. I'm guessing we're gonna hear some water flow, because it has no choice but to actually flow into the RV now. Yeah, it's a lot more flow than before. I don't want to go too crazy. Let's go see. I didn't really turn it on a whole lot, but let's just make sure there's not stuff leaking everywhere. Yeah, I hear water coming. Hey, okay. Ooh, big show. So there's gonna be a lot of air in the system, of course, and I didn't turn that on all the way, so. The other thing too is the hot water tank is probably completely empty. Make sure we got no. I can hear water flowing. Oh, sounds like water to me. Let's just make sure we don't got any leaks. Everything looking good there. Good there. Everything's dry there. Oh, I have the cold water turned off. That's why it's just hot water right now. They're gonna replace this thing too. Let's try turning on the cold. Because I did turn off this shut off valve because I wasn't too sure what that other little doohickey was. So let's see. Should take a second. We should get some water action here. There's a lot of air in the system. Let's see over here. No leaks, no leaks. I like it. I think I want to say, let me see something. I think this guy jumbled with this. Because I think this fills the tank, and I think that's where all of our water pressure is currently going. I'm willing to bet you if I pinch this, this is probably putting water into our actual tank, which isn't a bad thing. I just, obviously this isn't original test levels. So fresh water, we're empty right now. We might start seeing that it's filling it up. Or it could just be that the hot water tank's filling up. The other option too. Or possibility, I should say. This thing needs to freaking... Oh. It's gonna be a heck of a lot of air in this thing. Okay, so let's see. I think we might need to, yeah, I think we should be getting water by now. It's got to be dumping it into that, either the hot water tank or the other tank. Let's put this to the shower handle because I don't feel like making an absolute mess everywhere. Shower handle. So this technically should give us water. Alright, let's figure this out. Have to order a faucet immediately. This one is just, I don't even think it closes, honestly. It's just leaking everywhere. Is it a 2-hole or 3-hole? Let me figure this out. Okay, yeah. That's gonna have to get changed immediately. Okay, so it's a 3-hole deal. So I can order one of those pretty easily. Alright, well, this thing's leaking so bad I'm gonna have to turn the water off regardless, but I think we're gonna have to order a valve because I'm pretty sure it's trying to fill our freshwater tank through that. Yeah, because we're flowing water. It might not be coming into here. We shall see. To be determined. Alright guys, so I ended up taking off the 2 hoses that connect to the bottom of this. Hopefully this thing will wiggle out. And I ordered a new one because this one is just, you could probably change the gaskets in it, but it's already, I mean, I don't know if you can see it there, it's dented, it's got duct tape goo all over it from, you guys already know what. So that is going in the garbage and clean all that nastiness out. Also going in the trash, so out she goes. Okay, so new faucet showed up. I'll link this down below for you guys because this thing was super affordable. They're running a deal right now on Amazon. It was like 30 bucks. So this thing is gonna look way better. And then it also comes with the base plate. Where the heck is it? Right here. So that will go there. That'll cover the other holes. There's a little hole here. It looks like probably for like a soap pump, but I'm gonna keep this open actually because depending on how long I spend in this thing, I might put a reverse osmosis system and just run the spigot out of that because I really do like having my filtered water, and if I can have filtered water while I'm on the road, that would be freaking awesome. So because I got a ton of space down there to put it, so it'll definitely fit down there. I'll just have to secure it somehow, so I'm gonna leave this open rather than putting a soap pump. I did have to make a Home Depot run, so I'm gonna put, kind of like you would do just in your home appliances or whatnot, your home faucet, I'm gonna put 2 shutoff valves. So these are the PEX ones, so I'm gonna snip those PEX lines shorter. The reason why I'm doing that too, I don't know if you can see up here, it's a little dark, but it's got just these regular like old school faucet deals, and they're way too large for the newer style faucet stuff. So plus it'll get rid of all the old gaskets and stuff. So I'm gonna pop these 2 off of here. Like I said, I'm gonna trim this all back, probably take this old shutoff valve here, and then we'll just start all fresh. All right, check out how much better that looks, you guys. Still got a lot of other stuff to fix, little imperfections. If you guys know of anything online, this is like, what does it say here actually? Marble Creations, certified fiberglass, solid surface veneer sink. So it's fiberglass underneath, but then it has this kind of like quartz looking top. Do you guys know of any stuff that you can fill this with? That'll match. I've seen some other stuff where you can fill these holes, but not to be a match. If you guys know of anything, let me know, because I've got all these holes that were drilled through it, unfortunately. Because other than that, I mean, it looks good from like there over. It's just all these little imperfections, which I might try to see if I can fill and do some sort of touch-up stuff. But other than that, there she is. So I tightened that down. I got 2 cutoff valves there, so we have that. And then this was the Jumanji that was in here before. I don't know what the heck this all was, to be honest with you. So there's a shutoff valve, and then there's some sort of PEX thing here that was just, somebody just ran a straight, I'm guessing this is probably this person that did this, because this doesn't look like a factory thing. But there's a piece of PEX hose here, and then just a plug just smashed into here, and you can see that it was kind of leaking a little bit. So those 2 are off, because these are those connections and they didn't work for that. So that should be that. Let's try potentially turning the water on. I'm going to take one last just brief look again, and we'll see. I think it's going to take a little bit to get pressure, because this hot water tank that's actually right in there, that thing has to fill up with water. So I think it's going to take a little bit before we get pressure. And I also haven't turned it on full. I also haven't turned it on full because I've been just kind of a little cautious with that. But man, everything's looking so good. Let's go ahead and turn the water on. We'll see. Pray for me that we don't have any more surprises, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so water is on now. Don't know where it's flowing to. It's not flowing in here that I can tell, thankfully. I don't know if it's, I'm hoping it's filling the hot water tank, because I can, oh, it might have stopped. Let's see. I turned it on full chooch, so let's see if we got water now. Ooh, that sounds like water. Hey, definitely gonna have air in it though. No leaks. I think I still gotta tighten this actually. Probably should do that now. That looks like good water pressure. Let's try the hot side. Clear out those lines. Probably been a million years since those have put this here. So we've got the water filter on it, so hopefully it's just alright, so seems to be okay. I don't know what's still going on. It might be air that's in that, so as we purge out the hot water, let's see what we got here. I don't know which way is cold or hot. I'm guessing it's probably cold. Yeah. No leaks. I like it. That's some good cold water flow. Alright, alright. And then the hot water is probably, well, let's let this run for a second. Hot water's probably still got air in the tank, if I had to guess. The hot water doesn't seem to have the same amount of flow that the cold water does. Or maybe just our overall pressure. We put it on mix. Okay, so no leaks, that's a good sign. No leaks on this. Let's see, I think we're gonna try it out the shower wand here. So, which way is cold or hot? Cold. This should be cold. Oh, that's not what we want. I don't want it out of the jets. Which way is this coming out of? That's a little water fountain thing. So this is actually not accurate. I might have to reposition that. Let's see, is this that one? Yeah, that's a shower. This one should be the wand then. There we go. Okay. I didn't turn on full because I didn't want to splash water everywhere, but let's see. Yeah. Alright, and hot water. Just gonna turn on low so we're not making a mess everywhere. Oh, I did see a little run off of this, so this is why we test. This one, I feel like this one needs to be tightened up a little bit better on the hot side. So I'll give this one a little more of a turn here. Or maybe I'll try changing out that gasket, but not any serious water, but definitely something we want to change. Alright guys, so we've got water, cold, hot, but it won't be hot until we hook up the propane and get the water heater going. This, I'm going to change out these fittings here. I'm probably just going to chop them off and put two new, I don't know what I should put there actually. But anyways, I might actually put two straight fittings here, because then I can just run the 90s that way. It might make a little more sense. But this one works, cold, hot works, and you guys already saw this one. I don't need to make another mess, but sure, why not? Cold, hot works. So that all works, and then we can change our function. I don't want to put it from the shower head just yet because we don't have a shower curtain to prevent water from going everywhere. And then what I'm going to do in the next video, you guys will see me, I'm going to paint that whole bathroom vanity deal because I have cabinet paint for that. So I'm going to paint that, and then I've got a brand new toilet, and I can put the toilet in, take off that cap that's there, and just button up the bathroom. At least we have a functioning bathroom. I think that'll be a huge step in making this thing livable. Also have a brand new fridge too, so we gotta take this fridge out. Probably gonna yeet it through that window right there because we took measurements and it should fit right through the window, just by opening it, not having to take anything out. Also gonna recover this. We got lots of stuff on the go, you guys, but every episode, I don't know how much footage is on this episode, but I tried to accomplish something. So definitely accomplished quite a bit on this video. Things looking awesome now. We've got wallpaper everywhere, wallpaper in the whole back room. I still want to like paint these cabinets. I got that little cubby to do, but that's not a big deal. But huge success to you guys. If you guys are liking this series, make sure you share it with somebody that would be interested in this. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Catch you guys on the next one.